forward fold. How we measure our forward fold, you measure your hips width distance by putting 2 fists in between the arches of your feet. So you have a foot, hand, foot sandwich. Then you're gonna send your heels back. They're always pointing back, but you really wanna just bring that vision into your head of your heels almost like discs, like hockey pucks, sliding back. Your knees are gonna bend as much as they can. Some people, a lot of people, most people have a resistance to really bending their knees because maybe somewhere down the line we learned that a straight leg is more beautiful or something. But bend your knees. This is your mobility, your flexibility, your ability to change and shift and be versatile. So you're going to bend your knees into your armpits and you're going to grab for opposite elbows, and maybe you'll grab for opposite elbows and then grab the more opposite way. So opposite, the way that feels kind of uncomfortable. And then you'll unlock right where the top of the neck meets the base of the skull. So your chin will fall more towards your chest, and now your armpits and your knees start to make some contact. Your heels slide back, and your sit bones can begin to spread apart and rise up towards the ceiling. And what this is going to do is create even more of a wave in your back. And then the crown of your head is going to open up and pour out into the ground. And then right away, a lot of stuff is going to be happening with your breath. So again, you can either be against the wall like so, and your upper back, your thoracic spine is pressing against the wall. And that's just kind of like that hand of support on your mid-back that's like, don't worry, it's going to be fine. And if you're not against the wall, you can still feel that metaphorical feeling of support. So we're still in our forward fold, yes. And maybe the legs are burning a little bit. See if you can use the image of the heels sliding back, the knees throwing forward into the armpits, and the sit bones lifting up towards the ceiling to relax the muscles of the legs. And just pour your upper body, let the belly drape over the thighs, and let the back open up. And I'm using this flowery image, but that doesn't mean it's going to be super comfortable. Maybe it is, maybe it's not, but stay and breathe and let the breath shift and change and move however it has to. You can exhale out through the mouth. You can flutter the lips out, you can grunt, you can yell. I can't hear you, so just go for it. Unclench your jaw and then stay and see if you can be here even more. Be more in your body, be more in this moment. Start to let your thoughts and whatever preconceived notions of yourself and whatever preconceived conditions of your life you have, just pour out of the crown of your head. And feel this soft hand on your upper back. Just, it's okay. Whatever comes up for you is okay. The burning, the wanting to get out of it, the wanting to stay into it, all positive and negative feelings. Whatever it is that comes up, it's okay. Take 3 more inhales and exhales here. Maybe close your eyes. Maybe start to take a little bit of refuge in your heart center. And then whether you're against the wall or not, you can place your hands down on the ground. And then you're going to think of the opposite image. So instead of your sit bones spreading up and open, you're going to start to drop your sit bones down towards your heels. You're going to roll up vertebrae by vertebrae. If you're against the wall, you can walk your hands up the wall. And then your head is going to be the last thing to come up. Go as slow as you'd like. Roll your shoulders up, down, and back. And then right away, you can use your own hands to kind of pull your pubis, this bone right here in the front, a little bit forward and up. So you're not tucking. You don't even have to clench the butt. But you're just lifting that pubis forward and up, and what's going to happen is that your sternum is going to mimic that movement, and then you'll watch your vision naturally rise up in a diagonal slightly. Roll your shoulders up, down, and back. You can press and radiate your palms out towards the front of your mat. Take a moment here, just close your eyes, bring your weight into your heels, and just do a little bit less. We'll get moving, we'll get sweaty. Right now, just set your intention. So find that refuge in your heart center. Relax the back of the ears, relax the mind. Pull the eyebrows apart and open some space in your third eye. Melt the soles of the feet into the ground. You can keep a slight bend in your knees and then just find that refuge in your heart and set your intention, your dedication. This practice is not about being the best. It's not even about being your best. Just observe what happens. Just play. If you're not there already, find your feet together at the top of your mat. Inhale, rotate your upper arms in, press your palms up towards that diagonal where your vision was. Inhale. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, press your hands beside your toes, lengthen from tailbone to crown of the head, half lift. Exhale, bend your knees, step your feet back, upper push-up plank, and stay. Press your hands right underneath the centers of your shoulders, heels right in line with the toes, and then again, pubis slides forward and up. You can bend your elbows in slightly so that your sternum can come forward and up, and your vision is forward and out into your potential. Engage your lower belly and press the mat away. Building heat here. Exhale and pull that lower belly in even more. Inhale. Exhale, pull your lower belly in. Inhale. Exhale, lower it down. Chaturanga. Elbows graze the ribs. And then on an inhale, keep your toes tucked. Keep pressing that pubis forward. Lift your sternum. Roll your shoulders back. Lift your chin up. Inhale here. Exhale, bend your knees. Lift your tailbone up, 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 and back into your first downward facing dog. And then when you get there, be a dog. So a dog doesn't judge itself. A dog doesn't really think too much before it acts. Just sniff around, have some fun, wag your tail, bend one knee in the other. Maybe a yawning dog. Stretch your face. Sniff around, look at the sights there are to see, bring some circles into it. So this is your practice for your home practice. This is finding what you like, what you don't like, what you need, what you don't need, who even is my body. You just play and explore. You can bend one knee and the other, rise up onto your tippy toes, find your shoulders, find your joints. So stay in your downward dog in this little exploration, and I'm just going to talk about finding our folds a little bit. So we have lots of joints in the body, in our wrists, in our elbows, in our shoulders, in our hips, in our knees, in our ankles. And all of these, we can think of them as folds. And the more we focus on the folding ability of our joints, the less we have to muscle it out and use this strenuous, high impact kind of effort. So we're just going to play with that idea a little bit today. On your next inhale, send your vision out and forward and step, or if you'd like to already, you can hop your feet together towards the front of your mat, forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, sweep your arms all the way up above your head. Exhale, drag them down towards your heart. Inhale, we'll speed up that sun salutation, reach up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, bend your knees, step or hop if you'd like. Keep your vision out and forward as you exhale, chaturanga. You can always bring your knees or your chest or your chin down. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. And we'll start to clean up this downward facing dog. Bring your hands right underneath the centers of the shoulders, press into your pointer finger and thumb, and roll the inner elbows forward. Wrap your armpits in, and what that's going to do is kind of hoist your upper ribs together. Your lower belly is engaged, and then I like to bend my knees and keep my feet hips width distance. Everybody says something different about downward dog. You find what works for you. If you want to try bending your knees and lifting your sit bones, go ahead, and then make sure that you're not splaying the upper back, so you keep it contained with the wrapping of the armpits. Ears in line with the upper arms. Inhale into your upper thoracic spine. Exhale, look forward, bend your knees, step or hop your feet together at the front of your mat, forward fold. Inhale, half lift, vision out. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, sweep the arms up above the head. Exhale, drag them down towards your heart. Inhale, right away, squeeze your inner thighs, press your knees together, sit your hips low, reach your arms up, chair pose. Relax the front of your ankles, bring your weight into your heels, and then wrap those armpits in. Send your vision out and forward. Don't get down on yourself, don't get hard on yourself. Sit a little lower and keep your vision out. Have fun and breathe. Got it? Inhale, sit a little lower, reach a little further forward. But in all seriousness, just slow down your breath and be where you are. Sit a little lower, reach a little further. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, bend your knees and send your right foot all the way back. Stay here. You might need to toe heel your front foot, your left foot, so that your left knee is in your left armpit, as you can see right here, maybe. And then we're going to drop our back knee, but as you do, come onto the outer edge of your right knee, so that your right knee falls towards your left knee. You're on the soft part of your knee on the outside of the right knee. Your right pinky toe is on the floor. And then you can engage your lower belly, engage your inner thighs, and again, start to send that pubis forward and up. Sternum rises forward and up. And then we can interlace our hands above the left knee, press it away, and lift up even more. So we're not dumping into it. You have some containment in the low body so that you can get that middle stretch, not too deep and not shying away. And then you can really lift up in the lungs and start to open that front body, do your spring cleaning. If you'd like, you can lift your arms, palms pressed, or wrap the armpits in and pinkies towards one another, palms not touching, like you're holding a block above your head. Inhale, engage your lower belly, rise up off of your lower body. Exhale, both hands down. Tuck your right toes under. Step your left foot back, downward facing dog. Inhale, rise up onto your tippy toes, wave from your tailbone up to the crown of your head into an upper push-up plank. Gaze forward, lift your pubis, your sternum forward and out. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Keep your toes tucked. Turn your fingertips out 90 degrees so that your fingertips are pointing out in their directions. So left fingers towards the left, right towards the right. And then you can spread the collarbones apart. Keep the heels over the toes and really lift the chest past the shoulders. Inhale. Exhale, bend the knees, send the hips back. Point your fingertips towards the usual direction. Downward facing dog. Inhale, look forward, get your right knee into your right armpit, step the right foot forward, come onto the outer edge of your left knee, left pinky toe into the floor. You know the drill. Engage the inner thighs, engage the lower belly, pubis forward and up, sternum forward and up, and then you can interlace your hands and press that right knee away. Left hip is sliding forward, right hip is sliding back. I promise we'll start to speed it up. We're just going to be meticulous about it because it's nice to be functional. It's nice to really know what you're doing so that then you can just explore the world with your vision. Send it up. Lift up off of your lower body. Rise up in the upper body. Inhale, look back, reach back. Exhale, both hands down. Tuck the left toes under. Launch the left foot to meet the right. Forward fold at the front of your mat. Inhale, sit your hips low, reach your arms up, chair pose. Engage the backs of the legs. Really create that seat for yourself. And then hang out in it, reach the vision, the hands forward and up. Inhale. Exhale, shoot your heels into the ground. Reach your fingertips up and back. Exhale, drag your hands down towards your heart. We're going for it again. Inhale, sit your hips low, reach your arms up. Exhale, forward fold. You're doing great. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, bend your knees. Step your right foot back. Now your left knee is in your armpit. Did we already do this side? Yeah, sorry. Step your left foot back. Did I say that? Right knee is in your right armpit. Come onto the outer edge of your left knee. Left pinky toe. So sorry if that was confusing. Your right foot is forward, your left foot is back. You're on the outer edge of your left knee. And then your left hip slides forward, your right hip slides back, and you can press that right knee away. Lift the sternum. Send your breath in. So your kidneys in your lower back, I'm just going to talk while we're in it. Your hands are either up or pressing away. Your kidneys in your lower back are the waters of your body. It can be really easy to dive into those waters and get really stuck in that depth. And then we can get a little too watery, causes some lower back pain, causes maybe some confusion in the mind and cloudiness in our drive. So we lift up off of the kidneys, we rise up off of our waters, and then we let the breath in through the fronts of the lungs. Inhale, look back, reach back. Exhale, both hands down. Tuck your left toes under, lift your left knee up, send your right foot back, downward facing dog. Inhale, roll forward into upper push-up plank. Exhale, keep your toes tucked as you chaturanga. Inhale, upward dog with the toes tucked. If you liked those fingers turned out and the collarbones spread, you can do that. Inhale. Exhale, tailbone pulls towards the ceiling, downward facing dog. And then inhale, get your left knee into your left armpit as you step that left foot forward. Outer edge of the right knee comes onto the floor. Right pinky toe comes onto the floor. Engage the inner thighs. Inhale, lift up, reach back, look back. Exhale, both hands down. Tuck the right toes under, step the right foot to meet the left, forward fold. Inhale, sit your hips low, reach your arms up, thunderbolt, chair pose, whatever you want to call it. Exhale, ground your heels, lift your chest, look back, reach back. Exhale, drag your hands down towards your heart. Close your eyes, stay here for a moment, catch your breath. Maybe that image of catching your breath isn't the best one. Your breath is always there. You don't really have to catch it. Just tune back in. Flutter your eyes open. Inhale, sit your hips low, reach your arms up, and then right away drag your hands down towards your heart. I'm going to mirror you. Inhale, sit, puff your chest open, twist your left elbow outside of your right knee. If you can get that, then you can use your right hand to press on the outer edge of your right thigh and try to get your left armpit over your right knee. Then you can start to bring the thumbs in line with the heart, look over the right shoulder. Engage your lower belly. Make sure your knees are kissing and that they're in line with one another. So they might want to separate. The right knee might want to point in front of the left. Get them in line so your hips are square so you can really twist. And then again, we're breathing into the lower back, detoxifying, cleaning our waters, detoxifying the kidneys and opening up that right lung. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, deepen. Inhale, come back to center. Stay for your moment of strength, you can. And then twist other way. Get your right elbow over your left knee. If you can do that, use your left hand to press the outer edge of your left thigh. Get your right armpit over your left knee. And then start to press your thumbs in line with your heart. Get your head on your neck. Knees in line with one another. Sit bones in line with one another. Engage your lower belly. Press and twist. Inhale, I lengthen. Exhale, I deepen. How smooth can you draw your inhales and exhales? Inhale, come back to center. And exhale, forward fold takes on a whole new meaning. Shake your head yes and no. Maybe shake your knees out. And then toe heel your feet wide to the edges of your mat. Turn your toes out, lower down into Malasana squat. Awesome. Reach your right fingertips past your left toes. The outer edge of the right shoulder presses the inner edge of the right knee, and then the left fingertips open up towards the ceiling. But keep your weight equal on both heels. So don't favor the right leg just because we're twisting towards that side. Keep pressing that right knee open. Keep opening up that left lung. Keep the head in line with the neck. If you want to go for a full bind, you can. Everyone okay? And then switch. Left fingertips reach past the left toes. Outer edge of the left shoulder presses the inner edge of the left knee. Right fingertips reach up. Engage your lower belly gently so that you really feel that twist down there. And then again, weight in both heels. And really press that left knee open. You can open up that right lung. I can just feel righteous. And sometimes the only thing holding us back from feeling that righteousness in a pose is the mind. That's still, like, I can't do it, or I'm not doing it right, or whatever it might be. Sometimes everything in the pose is there, the mind's still like, oh. And maybe if you just let go of the mind and let the breath in, it's like, oh, that's righteous. We're doing yoga. Inhale, come back to center. Place your hands down. Lift up your beautiful little sit bones. Turn your toes back towards the wrists. So if you turn your toes in from your Malasana squat, they should point right behind your wrist. Everything's like a head width distance apart. And then you can send your vision out and forward. You can bend your elbows in towards your chest. You can rise up onto your tippy toes and get your knees in your armpits. And maybe you stay here and just shift your weight from your hands to your toes. And your face is going to want to face plant, but you want to send your vision out and forward into your potential, which is the potential of your crow pose in this case. And maybe you can bring one toe up and then the other. If you bring your face down, you're going to go straight towards the ground. Keep your vision out, keep your belly in, and believe in yourself. So take your crow pose practice, whether it's just shifting your weight or coming straight into it for a few breaths. And then you can step, hop, dance your way out of it, chaturanga, or come straight to a downward facing dog. And then just lower your knees down for a second. Take them nice and wide apart. Bring your toes together. Sit yourself back into a child's pose. Bring your elbows on the floor. Stretch your little biceps. And make a little antenna at the back of your head. And just channel whatever's asking to be channeled right now. So you have this little antenna, this prayer at the back of your head. Direct line to your third eye. From the ground up through your third eye up to the universe. So you are the vessel that connects the mystical to the material. It's all happening right now in something as simple as a child's pose. From here, lift your head, grab for opposite elbows, and then you have your measure to bring the palms straight out, the forearms on the floor. Knees in line with the elbows, toes tuck under. You're going to press back into your dolphin pose. Vision can be out towards your thumbs, and then maybe you walkie your feet in and together. Maybe you bend your knees and keep it hips width distance apart. What I want is for you to wrap your armpits in and press the ground away with your hands so that you really feel that opening in the shoulders. And then you breathe. And then just take a little scan of all the folds that are happening in your body right now. The fold in your elbows, in your ankles, at the front. Maybe you have a bend in your knees. There's definitely a fold in your hip crease, whether your knees are straight or bent. And then see if you can soften up the musculature a little bit and just let these folds take care of you. And then from here, vision out and forward, and see if you can, just play, just try, lifting yourself into a downward facing dog, both elbows at a time. Whoa. And then lower down. And then lift up. And lower down. And lift up. And lower down. And lift up. Downward facing dog. Inhale, rise up onto your tippy toes. Roll forward into an upper push-up plank. And then as you exhale, fold in your knees, fold in your ankles, fold in your elbows, come into that dolphin pose. And we're going to try to do this and speed it up and do it all in one go. If you were with me yesterday, keep on practicing. This is not something you're going to get right away. Maybe it is. There's really nothing to get. It's just to play. So what are we doing? We're lifting up all in one piece. Vision is out and forward in my upper push-up plank. Exhale, fold in everything. Dolphin pose with my knees bent, vision out and forward, almost like a dog ready to pounce. And then we're just going to feel these beautiful folds and start to play. Inhale forward, exhale back. Inhale forward, exhale back. Engage your lower belly. Keep your vision out and forward and just focus on the folds. Unfolding, folding. Unfolding, folding. Unfolding, folding. You can go as fast or as slow as you want. Maybe you just take one elbow at a time. If this is foreign, just play. If you know to do it, just play. No one's gonna win. I can't even see you. Maybe you're just watching me. Exhale back, inhale forward. Keep your vision out and forward, even if it's counterintuitive. Let's do 5 more. So you really feel it in your biceps. And the last one, we'll finish in an upper push-up plank. Lower yourself all the way down. Plug your toes into the mat. Interlace your hands behind your back. Roll your shoulders up, down, and back. Lift your chest. Plug the tops of your feet, the upper thighs into the mat. Keep the length in the back of your neck. Inhale up. And now exhale, forehead on the mat. Let the breath shift and change. Bend the knees, windshield wiper them side to side. So whatever your experience of that exercise was, just let it go. We can come back to it another time. You can come back to it whenever you want. If you hated it, you can come back to it or not. It's just yoga. And then plug the tops of your feet into your mat again. Press your hands underneath your shoulders. Lift up into a cobra. And then see if you can take your cobra with no hands, engaging the hamstrings rather than the glutes. So engage the backs of your legs. Lift in the sternum, Use your lower belly muscles and your upper back muscles. And then you try your Lukmano hands without crunching in the neck. Inhale. Exhale, press yourself back. Child's pose, and then tuck your toes under, downward facing dog, and then we're here, and we know it, and it's familiar, and we can reach our right leg up towards the ceiling. Flex your right foot, straighten your right knee, square the hips off, and keep your shoulders square as well. So right now, the hips are square, the shoulders are square. And now we're gonna give some freedom to that right hip and open it up and let it do the circle dance, but we're gonna keep the shoulders square. So we know if we're having a party in the backyard, you lock your front door. Yeah? You let that right leg dance and you keep the shoulders nice and square. Inhale, reach the right leg all the way up and back. Exhale, roll forward, vision forward, belly up, right knee in towards your right armpit. Step your right foot in between your hands. Keep your left heel nice and high over your left toes. Inhale, rise up, high lunge. Exhale, drag your hands down towards your heart. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, twist left armpit over right knee. Maybe you bring that outer edge of the left knee down to get you situated. It can actually be really helpful. And then look over that right knee. And then maybe you stay with your knee down, or you pick up that back knee. Keep your head on your neck and see if you can spiral your vision even higher up towards the ceiling. See if you can be kind to yourself with your breath. Inhale, rise up back into high lunge. And then we're just gonna keep using that right hamstring. Reach your fingertips forward. Feel the length in the side body. Your right torso, right side of the torso comes onto your right thigh. And then as if someone pulled you by the crown of your head and your fingertips, you slide forward into warrior three. Ow, it burns. It's okay. It's okay, you're okay, I'm okay. Flex your back foot. You can bring your hands towards your heart and keep those upper ribs in, yeah? You got it. Exhale, send those left toes back. Inhale, rise up, high lunge. And then exhale, bring both hands down onto the ground. Plug the fingers into the mat so you have like 2 cupcakes underneath the palms of your hands. And then you walkie, your back foot in. And your right sit bone lifts up towards the ceiling. And we stretch that right hamstring, the back of the right leg, little hammy, forehead towards the shin. And try to get your hips square. And try to love yourself. Slowly start to rebend into that front knee. Walk the back foot back. Plug your left hand into the ground. Use your right hand to adjust your left shoulder open. So rotate your left shoulder open for you. And then reach the right fingertips up towards the ceiling in line with the left hand. And then make sure that your head isn't falling off. Get it on your neck and spiral your vision so you can spiral your body. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, deepen your twist. Exhale, both hands down. Step your right foot back, downward facing dog. Inhale, roll forward, upper push-up plank, look forward, and then chaturanga. Inhale, this time you can bring the tops of your feet onto your mat. Really pull your elbows apart, keep them bent so that you can pull your collarbones apart and really lift your chest through and your vision through and your breath can come in. And it's righteous, and then you downward face dog. And even in a downward facing dog, let it be righteous for yourself. Place an imaginary hand on your heart and on your belly. Close your eyes and just be home here with yourself. And then keep that front door locked. Keep the back door locked at first. We're gonna set up our party so the hips are square, the left hip is down. The left foot is flexed, the left knee is straight. Pressing into both hands. Wrap the armpits in, find your length, and then lock the front door. Keep your shoulders square as you open up the back door. Have a little party. Circle your left hip and your left knee and your left ankle, and feel the wind between your toes. And get drunk on your breath. Inhale and exhale. Inhale, reach it up. Exhale, vision forward, left knee into your left armpit. Step your left foot down. Keep your right heel nice and high over your toes. Rise up, high lunge. Exhale, drag your hand down towards your heart. Puff your chest up. And get your right elbow over your left knee. Maybe you come onto the outer edge of the right knee to do this. Thumbs in line with the heart. Max, I don't see you, but I know that you're on your knee. It's a beautiful thing. Maybe you get your right armpit over your left knee and you really get the thumbs in line with the heart and you really spiral your head and maybe then you can lift up and you really twist and you really detoxify those kidneys, and you really love your practice, and breathe. Inhale, rise up back to high lunge. We're just going to keep that hamstring working. Reach your fingertips forward. Pull the crown of your head forward. Keep the length in the side body as you launch in slow motion into your warrior three. Relax your standing toes. Relax your shoulders. This too shall pass. Engage your lower belly. Bring your upper ribs in. Lengthen and pull. Believe in yourself. Exhale, launch that back toe back. Rise up. Look back, reach back. Exhale, plug your fingertips into the mat out in front of you. Walkie, 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 your back heel in. And then send left sit bone up and back. So you're not thinking about just locking in the front knee, but really sending that left sit bone up and back towards the ceiling, and then the forehead can come down towards the mat. The back foot can be at an angle. Thanks for asking. Respira. I feel like I make a lot more jokes in these virtual classes because I think it can get kind of lonely there on the other side of the screen. Happens for me too. Rebend into your front knee, walk your back toes in, press your right hand into the mat so you're back in your lunge. Use your hand to externally rotate that right shoulder, and then you can peel the left fingertips like a modern dancer up towards the finger, up towards the ceiling. Engage your lower belly and get your head on your neck so you really rotate. Lengthen as you inhale and deepen as you exhale. And then place both hands down. Maybe keep your vision forward and try coming into a downward facing dog without looking at it. Oh my gosh, and then you can check, and you probably did it right. Your feet know where to go without you having to look. Inhale, look forward. Roll forward into your upper push-up plank. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. This time, let's all do it together. Lift your pubis forward, keep your toes tucked, lift your sternum forward, turn your hands out towards the sides, and then really peel your sternum apart. Lift your chest, lift your throat. Let it be righteous. Inhale. Exhale, downward facing dog. Walk your hands all the way back towards your feet. Forward fold. Right back where we started, the same, but probably really different in the way it feels now. Instead of grabbing our elbows here, we're going to slip our hands under our feet. We tried this yesterday. We're going to try it again. See if you can flip your palms. So your hands are going to do this motion. And see if you can do both hands at the same time. So you come onto your heels, whoop, and you just slip your hands right under like Houdini. Yeah? Magic. And then the tips of your thumbs can touch. That's how you know you're at a proper hips width distance. And then you can bend your elbows, slide your heels back, throw your knees into your armpits, lift your sit bones up and spread apart towards the ceiling, bend your elbows and bring your forehead towards your shins. And then these kidneys that we've been given so much love to all class, which as we talked about represent the waters of the body, are nice and high now up towards the ceiling in this forward fold. And our heart, which represents the fire of our body, is humble, it's folded in, it's taking a rest. And our waters can just pour over our fires. So if we're feeling agitated or a little bit angry or just frustrated, maybe a little unfulfilled, whatever it might be that kind of creates that brushing against yourself type of energy, that friction that builds fire. In this forward fold, we're just watering it, we're self-soothing. Relax the back of your neck and pour your waters down your back. The waters can also pour down the spine and collect any sediment in the mind and just pour it out towards the ground. so that you use any of your excess, what you no longer need, to water the ground, to fertilize the soil. Nothing's wasted. And just because you don't need it anymore doesn't mean it's bad or useless. It just means that you can give it now to another purpose. Inhale, keep your hands underneath your feet, half lift, lengthen from tailbone to crown of the head. Exhale, slip your hands out at the same time. Walk your hands forward. And lower down onto your forearms. Now see if you walk your feet a little bit closer and you can have a righteous experience in your dolphin pose. Just breathe. Lots and lots of leg work today. That's our stability. And sometimes we can get a little hard on our stability and just dump everything there, so we give some kindness to our effort. Rise back onto your hands. Sweep your right leg up towards the ceiling. Open it up. Bend your right knee. Bring it over towards your left elbow and then towards your right elbow. And your left ankle will hook around the back of your left wrist. And you'll walk your back toes out, coming into a half pigeon pose, the big reveal. So with your toes tucked, just bear with me here for a second. Come onto the outer edge of your left knee. Sorry about my sweatshirt. Come onto the outer edge of your left knee, which I've been talking about throughout class, but it's really just to protect your patella, that bony center part of your knee. And then, if you're in that proper place of the knee, your left pinky toe will just plug easily into the mat. Also, I forgot to say, if you got into this pose and you were like, no, then get on your back and take a figure 4 stretch. You cross your right ankle over your left thigh, and you loop your hands and grab your left hamstring. You can do it against the wall, and you're doing just as good. So find your length. If you have any type of prop to place underneath your pelvis, super helpful. If not, just tuck your heel closer to your body so you're not going deeper than you should today. Lift up onto your tips of the fingers. Raise your sternum and your vision up and forward. Let the breath in. Let the light in. Let the new day in. And then exhale. Find your humility. Find your quietness. Get cozy with yourself. Maybe stack your fists on top of one another. Place your third eye onto it. And the shoulders can slide down the back. And you can just breathe with whatever comes up. Whether it's the challenge of the sensation, whether it's feeling really good here. If you feel really good in a pose, don't question it, just be there. And maybe it's the desire to be somewhere else, maybe it's something else that's happening in your home, some kind of distraction or something else that is asking for your attention. And whatever comes up is fine, just meet it with your breath, with yourself. Meet it from your heart. It can be as simple as that image, and you can do that whenever something rises up that's challenging. Just close your eyes for a split second, take a breath, and just say, I'm going to meet this with my heart. And then see what happens. The mind is always going to play its part. The mind is never going to be like, you know what, we're not going to do this today. The mind's always going to play its part. So bring some focus into your heart. Because the mind will always be there. It'll figure itself out. And when you meet in unnecessary tension in the body, maybe gripping onto somewhere that isn't helping you or the posture in any way, just send some breath there. And even with yourself, just meet it with your heart. So even if there's something you realize that you're doing that isn't serving you, you don't have to reprimand yourself and tell yourself how much you suck and we didn't practice for yoga for 3 days and then see what happens, blah, 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 whatever it might be. Just send your breath. And then slowly come back up, roll into the outer edge of your right thigh, bend your left knee and don't swing it all the way around, just bend it in, almost like you're trying to kick your left butt cheek with your left heel. I don't really have space because of my good friend, my wall here. And you're gonna come into, so it's kind of like this double figure 4 shape, but your knees are bent. You're gonna come with your right hand on the outside of your upper right thigh and come onto the right elbow. And then use your left glute to kind of press your left hip forward. I don't think this is a yoga pose, but it might feel really good for the front of your left hip and the left thigh. We're just gonna pretend it's a yoga pose. Maybe you come all the way down and grab for opposite elbows. Maybe it is a yoga pose, doesn't matter. And never wait for someone else to tell you you're doing great, to tell yourself that you're doing great. And gently roll back up, pressing on that right side. And bring both feet forward, windshield wiper your knees. Now we're going to do a little bit of core because I love you. Bring your shins parallel towards the mat, towards the ceiling. Reach your fingertips towards your toes. Engage your lower belly, stay. Inhale, bring your belly button towards your spine as you lower, lengthen and hover. Relax the upper body. Be a queen about it. Exhale, knees to chest. Inhale, lower, lengthen and hover. Exhale, knees to chest. Inhale, lower, lengthen and hover. Exhale, knees to chest. Cross your right ankle over your left. Press your hands beside your hips. Even if you just imagine it today, try to lift your booty. Inhale, boat pose. Exhale, lower, lengthen and hover. Knees to chest. Lower, lengthen and hover. Knees to chest, smile. Lower, lengthen and hover. Knees to chest, cross your left ankle over your right. Lift your booty. And if you can, you roll over, you step or hop your feet back. You do what you gotta do. Maybe you chaturanga, maybe you take 9,000 push-ups. Maybe you go straight to a downward facing dog, like so. Pedal the feet out, and then inhale, sweep the left leg up and back, open it up, let it feel goody good. And then right elbow, left elbow, coming into pigeon. Come onto the outer edge of your right knee, please. And then your right pinky toe comes onto the mat. And then you unclench that jaw, you unclench those thoughts, because whatever you're thinking, it doesn't matter. And if it matters, it'll come back later, because the mind is relentless. Just bring your focus into your heart, square your hips off, use whatever props you need. Maybe you take a figure 4 on this side and you didn't take it on the other side. It means nothing about you. You're not gonna fail yoga. You can stack your fists as you start to bow in toward yourself and meet the challenge with your breath and take refuge in your heart. Just notice what the breath is doing. See if you can slow it down, draw it out. And as you do that, you start to draw out time and slow down time. So it's okay if your breath is choppy and short, or if you forgot about it completely. That's just your breath. It's just telling you what's up. And the suggestion is just to draw it out and slow it down, which doesn't mean that breath is better. It's just going to help you bring some attention to this moment. Take the freneticism out of it. And drop into the isness of it. It just is. Everything just is. And whatever else we think about it is just a judgment, is just a thought, and it's subject to change. And it's subject to everybody's different perspective and perception. It just is. Slowly come up, roll onto the outer left thigh. And then bend your right knee so that your right heel almost kicks your right butt. And then bend your left elbow, so now you're getting a back view of it. You're coming onto the left side of the body. And then maybe that's enough, and you squeeze your right glute and you press your right hip point forward. And you stretch through the whole front of the right thigh. And maybe you want to modern dance it out and come all the way down. And if you don't know how to do it, I can't see you, which is the best time to practice stuff that might look kind of funky and awkward. And you grab your opposite elbows above your head and you chill. And you relax your toes and you relax your mind. And then slowly come out of it. Press up off of your left side. Feel your weight pouring up and up. Swing your right leg forward. Flex your feet. Walk the fleshy part out from underneath you. And I'm going to suggest we bend our knees so that we're not sitting back on the flesh of our behind and curving in the lower back. But if we bend our knees, maybe we can plug our sit bones into the ground and get that nice natural curve in the spine. Press your big toes forward, wrap your armpits in and your pinkies towards one another. Find your length. And then start to hinge up and over your hips as you come into your forward fold. Give yourself a nice little squeeze around the outer edges of the feet and let the head fall in. And maybe you can sigh out through the mouth, and this is like when you come home after a long day of work. This is just like, just come home to yourself. No place like home. Exhale out again through your mouth if it feels right. And then come up. Press your hands behind you so as far as they can go while you keep the elbows straight. Lift your chest and then bend your elbows back. Bend your knees, bring the soles of the feet onto the ground. Lift your booty up. Slide it towards your heels and then sink into your shoulders and your elbows. Should feel a nice shoulder stretch, maybe even a little bicep stretch. If you don't, walk your feet further forward, lift your pelvis, slide it down towards your heels. Ooh, and keep pointing your elbow points back, so don't let them fall open so you really get that shoulder stretch. And then this is the moment of truth in the mind. where you can either stay and draw this practice out so that then you can get off your mat and continue the practice in your life. Or this is a point when you can check out and be like, okay, practice is done. What's next? So what if you can just train your mind a little bit right now to stay in it? This is what's next. And what's next is the next breath, and the next breath, and the next breath. And this practice is not separate from whatever is next. Just draw it out and stay in it. Lift your sit bones back again. Press your elbows down where your hands just were. So like you're laying back, tanning on the beach. And continue that image. Lift your heart towards the sun. Really get your elbows underneath you. Straighten your knees. Point your toes. We're going to finish in this fish pose as the crown of the head comes back towards the ground. Lifting your sternum. Roll your shoulders back. Inhale. Exhale, look upside down, exhale out through your mouth. Take 2 more exhales out through your mouth like that, emptying out your lungs completely. Inhale. Exhale. One more time, inhale. Push every last bit of air out as you exhale. And slowly lower yourself down. Maybe hug your knees in towards the chest and grab for opposite elbows. Or if you want, if you feel ready, trust that there's nothing left that you have to do, that you have done enough, and come into your final resting pose. If you're close to a wall and you liked beginning at the wall, then maybe you end at the wall as well with your legs up against the wall and your sit bones about 6 inches away from the baseboard. And then wherever you are, right away, take a big breath in, close your eyes and let your back body surrender to the gravity underneath you. And with that, let your front body melt and soften. Take off your armor, lay it down. Let the eyeballs sink heavy into the back of the skull. Let the jaw release and the tongue slide off the roof of the mouth. Maybe swallow your saliva and let the breath do whatever it wants. You are all so amazing. Thank you so much. I'm going to leave you in this Shavasana. We have been practicing for an hour now, so if you have somewhere to be, just take a moment, say, your quiet prayer, your intention, your dedication, send it out to all living beings everywhere. And then take your practice out into the world. I recommend staying in this Shavasana as long as you possibly can. If something comes up that you have to go do, maybe stay a little bit longer until this becomes the most important thing, until you no longer want to come out of it. And then after that, stay a little bit longer in your Shavasana for someone who is not able to take a Shavasana right now, but who would really benefit from it. And then stay a little bit longer in Lion Shavasana for all living beings everywhere. Thank you so much for your practice. Have a beautiful, beautiful rest of your day. Namaste.